Hello everyone, this is another experimental live stream in Cliffs of Dover Blitz 4.55. I'm flying a Spitfire one. The reason why it's experimental is because live streaming is something I have a great deal of experience with IL-2 Great Battles, but IL-2 Cliffs of Dover and Blitz, almost no experience at all. So I'm a beginner at streaming this particular game, so as I said, it's experimental, so don't expect it to be necessarily a very polished kind of a stream, but if you're up for some adventure, stick around and let's see what we can do. There's currently 17 players on this map. That's right, 17 players on this map. 8 British and approximately 8 German, and I guess and myself as well. And if I click on the map, I can't see anyone there at all, actually. So I don't know where they are. Maybe the data I was looking at was out of date or something, but I was on here the other night and I could actually see the icons of each individual plane all across the English channel. It was really good because I could just fly to where the action was, and then when I was in visual range I could start a combat. So that would almost guarantee a combat, if not a shoot down of the enemy, that is. Oil temperature, good. Okay, so that now that the oil temperature is above 20 something, that's significant. It means we can take off. I'm really bad at taking off in this sim. Let me just maybe adjust the trim. Alright, I've moved the trim forward so that it's not so wanting to elevate. Not really explaining that well, but what else? Do I want flaps? No, I don't want flaps. Can I take off straight? Looks clear on that. Looks clear on that. Maybe I can take off straight. Alright, so let's see if I can get this thing in the air. Really messy takeoff, I know, but we're airborne, so that's... And I took off at full power and I've reduced it below the red line. That's the important. Do I need to do something with anything else? Mixture, radiators, maybe? Something's going wrong. I think I probably needed to open the radiator. Maybe the propeller. See if I can make it back and maybe have another shot. I have no idea what the speed is because the airspeed indicator is going crazy. Let's cut the power. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. Yeah, I know what it was. I had the radiator closed so I could warm up the engine, and then I didn't open it. That's what it was. Alright, let's have another shot. I'm going to pause it, guys, and I'm going to be back at some point in the near future. It could be 10 seconds, it could be more like 1.5 minutes. I hope you stick around. I'll be back. Hello guys, I apologise for that delay. As I said, this is an experimental stream and we're back in action. What was going on there is I was trying to get a new Spitfire Mark 1 100 octane, and the game, even though I selected it, the game kept on giving me a Hurricane, and the Hurricane's fine and all, but I'm practicing flying a Spitfire, and in fact this is not the Spitfire 1 100 octane, this is a Spitfire 1A, so it's a different version of the Spitfire. Anyways, let's see if we can go again. One of the major reasons why I'm sticking to the Spitfire specifically is because I'm, at least at the moment, more refreshed and more familiar with the controls, so it's more likely that I'll be able to fly the plane without breaking the engine, without breaking the plane. So first things first, down here, off, fuel on. Gonna go on. Can I move the throttle? Yes, I can. I'm going to set it to approximately the start position there. Down here I've got like a handbrake. It's a radiator control. I can press, I think it's 2 and 7. Check this out. No, 7 is for the propeller pitch. I press 7 there and that moved propeller pitch into 70%, which is going to be good enough to take off and good enough to cruise. So I'll keep it there. I think I can move it down to 30% by pressing 3. So pressing 2 doesn't seem to do anything. Pressing 4. Pressing 4 opens the radiator. Pressing 5 closes the radiator. I'm going to keep it closed, and I have to remind myself that if I actually manage to take off successfully, to then press and hold 4 to completely open the radiator. Good thing about this server is you have exterior views, so I'll be out. You can see the radiators completely open. If I press 4 or 5, I can shut the radiator. Press 4, I can open the radiator. So that's it. Having the external views, in addition to being very beautiful, it's really useful for checking the position of the radiator relative to the interior view. Alright. G'day Frag, this is an experimental stream, so I'm sort of learning as I go. The reason why, now that's closed I believe, the reason why you want the radiator closed on start is because you've got to wait for the oil to heat up. The oil's currently below 20 and it needs to be above 20 before I can take off. So that's the rationale there with the radiator. I'm going to press I and start the engine. Plane is kind of lurching forward slightly. I think I've got a bit too much throttle, but also, I don't know. Throttling down there. Don't want to stall the engine though. So oil temperature there, got to wait for it to get above 20. And I think a lot of that's dictated by this. I believe that's open radiator and that's shut radiator, so I'll keep it shut. I'll tell you what, I'll actually only open the radiator just before I'm going to take off. At least that's the plan. Put the gun sight on. There we go. Apparently there's 17 players on this server, so if that's the case I should be able to find some action. You would play Cliffstove but has no VR support. Ah, right, I see. Yeah. Do you have Track IR? Would you use Track IR? Until there's ubiquitous adoption of VR, it might be worthwhile having both systems available. Temperature is climbing up fairly rapidly. Also gone into the, what would you call it, like the loadout? Yeah, I've gone into the loadout. I didn't actually double check it on this plane, so unless I've done it previously, the convergence of the gun's either going to be at a massive 333 meters or it's going to be at 100 meters. I'd set, on most of these planes, I'd set the convergence to 100 meters, but by default the convergence is at 333. We'll soon know when I get airborne and I fire at something. We'll see how far away the convergence is. I much prefer to have 100 meters convergence. That way, if I see a target in front of me, I can focus 8 303 machine guns on it and literally obliterate it. Oh wow, that's a good endorsement for VR. You've got track IR, but VR is so much better that you don't want to play non-VR sims anymore. I believe that, just from what I've read in the comments and that, I believe that they're going to do VR for this one, but it's not the first priority, so it'll probably happen at some point. I assume after 5.0 is released, and no one knows when that is. Isaac Lopez, you have the same problem. Don't play Cliffs of Dover because for the VR. Okay. So it sounds like, Isaac, that you'd play Cliffs of Dover if it had VR support. Yeah, I mean, it's not an issue I've really thought of because I don't have VR. Let me check the temperature. It's above 20, so I can pretty much. I might press 4. There we go. So I've opened the radiator. Let me just double check that. Yes, that radiator is definitely fully open. I think when I get good at this game, another thing that I'll do is I'll figure out how to adjust the propeller pitch up to close to 100, or if not 100, because it's at 70 at the moment. I'll be able to take off like that, but not so easily. Alright, and after all of that rigmarole, looks like I can take off straight ahead. After all of that rigmarole, I'm going to see if I can take off. I've found it very difficult to take off in this multiplayer server. Well, not the server, like on the multiplayer maps in general, I find it difficult to take off. Probably because of my inexperience. Okay, so I've got the radiator fully open. I've pressed 7 to get 70% prop pitch RPM. And I've also pressed 2, which gives me 2 should give me an open oil radiator. And without further ado, sorry if I crash, guys, I'm going to try not to. Let's see if I can take off. Whoa, it didn't sound very warmed up. Better takeoffs, although I admit that was an atrocious takeoff. Got the power down below the red line. Pressure or temperature is much above 20 now, no problem there. Just got to make sure it doesn't overheat. It should settle at about 80, I think. And we're airborne now. What do I have to do now? Don't panic. Keep calm and carry on. Let's check the guns. That looks like 100 meters to me. Yeah, that looks like 100 meter convergence, which I'm overjoyed at because I didn't want it set to 330 meters. Some ships over there. Temperature's still good. Just check the map. Okay, I can immediately see... Can I see my icon? That's not me. That blue plane is not me. I think the blue planes are the Luftwaffe. There's a blue and a red. Hey, there's some fighting going on there. Alright, let's turn around and go over the other side of this peninsula over here and see if we can get to that fight. There's a blue and a red. The red is the Royal Air Force and the blue is the Luftwaffe, FYI. And I am, of course, Royal Air Force, but my plane has a white flag and a white plane icon. The white plane is me, but it's a different shape and size icon to the other icons. So there you go. I think we've got a blue plane there. That means the RAF plane is down, maybe. No, they're still together. I don't know what's going on. I'm flying straight at them, but I don't know where they are. They could be up at 15,000 feet. They could be on the deck. They're along the coast there somewhere. But where? Radar tower is directly ahead. I'm gonna have to trim this out. Its nose is rising. That's a bit better. Alright, I can see an aircraft. I can see three. No, I can see two aircraft on a lot of flak. There's two aircraft moving left to right. And the other black dots to my left are just flak. One of them's shooting down the other one. Let's get in there and shoot down the Luftwaffe. Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Almost ahead on there. Alright, I think that's the Messerschmitt there with the smoke trail. Yeah, it is. Let's get him. Faster than the Spitfires. I could go full power here, but I don't want to damage the engine, so I'll just play it cool, play it safe. If I shoot from this distance, I might hit the Spit as well. Don't have much ammo on these old planes. That's the other thing. Got a hit. He's on foot. Is he on fire? Is it gone? The other guy finished him off. Oh no, they've both crashed. Boom, boom. How's that, eh? Damn. Damn, son. And what do we got up here? Heaps of flak up here. Is that flak? That looks like AI aircraft coming over. How they fly in that very uniform fashion. They're probably Stu because there's something going to bomb the radar station. They look like they might be about to dive. Well, they're 109s, and I think they're AI 109s. Just a thought there. I'm still figuring out this server. There's AI and there's non-AI. So who knows what. If they're AI, they're going to be fairly easy to not have to really worry about. If they're players, it's a bit more difficult. Now I saw something going on over here. What's that? What is that? To actually fly the plane as well. Got something on my tail there. You see that? That was a 109 there. I can mostly outturn the 109s, but I can't catch them. They're faster. I think the most important thing for this flight is just to fly and not crash.
surrounded by 109s basically, and I think that they're all AI. And also I've got the benefit of the flag here. And what's that? What is that? I don't know what that is. Is that an Italian plane? That's an Italian plane. That's one of those Fiat G50s or whatever. What should I do? Probably going to get hit by a 109 in a second. No, I think this is an AI. It doesn't really fly like a human pilot. A little bit far away. It's about 200, 300 meters away. Oh, well, let's just do this for a bit and then see what happens. That's a 109 on my tail. There goes that Fiat G thingamajig there, I think. No, it's a 109. I think I'm just fighting against AI. It doesn't seem like I'm really fighting against players. It's pretty good fun, but to be honest, I don't want to fight against AI. It's kind of meaningless at this stage. I think that's the I don't know what it is, G50 or whatever. Yeah, he's coming at me. Yeah, I think the concept of having AI aircraft in multiplayer servers, it's an anathema or whatever. Like it's kind of not really good. I'm surrounded by Axis aircraft, and so far none of them have been able to hit me or anything. The good thing about this server is you've got external views. Pretty cool, huh? I think this is pretty cool. Really don't know, but to me, I think those first two aircraft were actually players, just by how they are moving. And AI usually doesn't fly like that. I'm basically able to tell the difference between AI and player-controlled aircraft in most instances. So we got some. I'm going to call them. I don't know. Well, they're the Italian planes. I don't know what they are. I'm going to call them Fiat G50s or something. Could be. Yeah, I don't know what they are. There's one on my tail there. They're not that good at dogfighting the AI planes in comparison to human pilots. That's for sure. just one human pilot in one of those Fiats would be more dangerous than all of them put together as AI. There's one there. It's pretty high up though. These old planes, they don't have any ammo, and that's the thing. So you got to make your shots count. This is a Spitfire Mark 1A. One benefit I have here is that I've got the flak, and I could get complacent here. Geez, look at my wing. Whoa, better check my temperature. Yeah, temperature's fine. Let's have a look at the outside of the plane. A few bullet holes. Got hit, I think there was a 109 or a G50 or what have you that got on my tail as I was chasing that one Fiat. Right, so the radiator's full open. All good there. So this is what an early war Spitfire looks like from the Battle of Britain era. See, it's got that kind of asymmetric placement of the water radiator, and it's got another air intake there as well. I don't actually know what that's for. I'm going to say it's either to feed the engine air, or maybe it's for the oil radiator. Actually, there's another radiator on the left wing. That's probably the oil cooler, I'm going to say. Looks good, huh? Alright, I think that battle is basically over, and I've survived. And I might gain a bit of altitude and just check the chat. And I think if I see any more incoming, I'll probably know it because there'll be some flak going off. Maybe I'll just check the map first. It's showing there's a ton of enemy aircraft right at my position. Yeah, there they are there. I think that's the remainder of the Fiat G50s that are just flying off to go back because they're probably going to run out of fuel. That's my take on that. But I still should monitor them in case they jump me or something like that. Let's go back towards the airfield. Alright, let's check the chat. I don't know if there's an auto level function in this one. Resolution will need to increase for me to do VR. Yeah, well, not necessarily, but I was hoping to, if I was going to do VR, I was hoping to get it at least 1440, which is what I currently enjoy on the Asus monitor. Valve index. Equivalent to 1080p. I think you definitely want it to be at least 1080p. Skids, hi Skids. Artorius, get the hunt, Froggy. I tried. I'm glad I survived actually. Again, guys, this is an experimental stream, so it got off to a pretty rocky start, but here we are. Going to try and find some human non-AI combatants to fight against. I think I did in the beginning, and I got hits on one, and then he had a collision with a Spitfire, and they both went down in flames. Hash Brown, Alan, get some, get some, get some! Great line out of Apocalypse Now. Great movie. External views, no, my immersion. I love external views, I love it. It's really, really awesome for once to be able to see the external of the plane. Blitz, yeah, this is Blitz. Hash Brown. Is it still everything manual inside the cockpit or auto start like IL-2 boss? It's a bit of both.
To be honest, it's a bit of both. And for some reason, it just... I don't know. I don't know. And we're back, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we're back or not. Let's just proceed. Alright, we're going to join Danger Dog's server. It says there's 19 players on there. The ping's pretty damn high though. Don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I think probably not. Alright, let's select an aircraft. I'm going to go again for another Spitfire. It says there's only 3 players each. I'm going to go for the Spitfire 100 octane. There it is there. I think you guys can hear me now, yeah? I hope. Convergence is good. I don't think you guys can. Alright, and I can now see the microphone icon, so I reckon you guys can probably hear me now. Again, this is an experimental stream, so glad you're along for the ride, although it's not going to be very polished like my usual streams usually are. Alright, so yeah, we're back. I'm just going to pick up where we left off, and I'm going to just check the chat. I got up to Alan's Get Some comment. I love Apocalypse Now, it's one of my favourite movies. External views, Blitz. So yeah, Hashbrown, you're asking, is it manual or is it auto start? And what it is, I'll show you actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the fuel tap on. So the fuel tap's on. I'm going to, the radiator is here, it's already shut. If I want to open it, I can press 4. Press and hold 4, and then press and hold 5 to shut it again. I'm going to keep it shut so that I can get the oil temperature up. I can adjust the throttle here, put it into the start position here. If it's not in the start position, the engine won't work. And then I'm going to press I, and that starts an automatic start sequence. So I just pressed I. Now the engine's started. See where it's sort of lurching forward a bit. I might reduce the throttle a tiny bit.
If I was just to gun the throttle right now, the engine would conk out. I've been there and done that so many times. Hash Brown, you know at Biggin Hill that can actually go to train to fly the Spitfire, right? It's a 2-day training, but it requires a PPL. Just waiting on my PPL exam now. Yeah. No, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. And what's the hourly rate to fly the Spitfire? It's got to be what, £2,000 an hour or something. That's the thing is flying a Spitfire you're flying kind of like a priceless aircraft, and to my understanding, they might let you fly like a Chipmunk, like a de Havilland Chipmunk with a PPL, but flying a Spitfire, man, that's like flying the Mona Lisa. Like, you know, that's kind of priceless right there. Usually someone that gets to fly a flyable Spitfire or Messerschmitt is not only a PPL, but they've had like an entire 30-year career of flying aircraft, particularly even a lot of warbird experience before they're allowed to fly the plane. Sounds pretty cool though. You like the pin-up gill? Yeah, I had Miss Piggy there. It's quite a technical difficulty to change them around, so I was going to put someone else in there. But for the time being, we're stuck with this one. She's called Faye Ray. Alright, so enough yakking. Let's see if we can go again. By the way, there's only 6 people. There's only 6 people on the server now. Check the temperature. Temperature's above 20, so I can change out the radiator now. Very good. I'm going to press 7 to get the pitch different. There we go. Press 2 to open the oil radiator. There we go. Close the canopy. It was closed. What else? The brakes. Turn the brakes off. Brakes are off. Alright, let's see if we can take off. I apologise if I crash out. I'm not that good at taking off in this sim just yet. Gear up, and we are away. Another thing you can do in this clickable cockpit is you can reach over with the mouse and you can adjust the gun sight, which I'll probably do in just a tick. What do we got here? Oh yeah, I've got to reduce the power. Right, so now we're in a more like a cruise power. The engine temperature is good as well. Any Messerschmitts around? I'll show you the gun sight. Alright, so here's the gun sight, and I'll just change it. To me, that's 150 yards is what the gun sight is now set at, and you can adjust the wingspan as well to 40 feet or to 100 feet, and I think it's already currently at 40 feet. So that's the gun sight. So yeah, it's kind of a hybrid. It's a mixture of clickable cockpit and keyboard commands. This is a, what is this? This is a Spitfire Mark 1A 100 octane, so it's a pretty good one. Especially with 100 octane, it's got a bit of oomph to it.
cannot see anyone on the map at all apart from my own aircraft icon. Let's have a quick look here. £4,000. Damn, that's pretty good. I mean, just that you can do it is good. Ping 300? Yeah, probably. That could have played a role for sure. I gotta say, I think most people agree the water in this sim is the best out of any. The way they do the ocean here. I think they've captured this kind of, the character of this kind of sea perfectly. So everything seems to be working well. Hopefully we don't get kicked again. If we do, I'll probably just end the stream there because it doesn't look like there's any air combat going on. What I'm going to predict is we'll get some AI aircraft flying around. I think the plane is stabilised. I don't think I'm going to have an engine failure or anything like that. So that's all good. The other possibility is I could get jumped by a Messerschmitt, but I'll keep an eye on the map, so hopefully that won't happen. Just going to trim her out a bit. That's a bit better. As the speed picks up, the nose will come up as well. Ah, now I can see an enemy aircraft over the coast. What's my plane doing this for? Why is my plane wobbling like this? That was really peculiar. And I just saw a ship move into position. Right, now I can see two blue aircraft and I can see two red aircraft. The reds are the RAF and the blue are the Luftwaffe. Suddenly we've got a lot of action here. Hopefully it's not just AI. Might want to gain a bit of altitude on my way to this fight, I think. Let's zoom in a bit. We've got a blue just off to our left in the front somewhere. It's closing. You see him? There he is. And why is my plane shaking around? Oh no! Oil! Why? Why? What? The engine's failing. I must be doing something wrong. Maybe I've got the RPM set too high or something. Sorry guys, my lack of knowledge of how to fly this plane is causing the engine to fail. You can see there's something up there, probably a Messerschmitt. I should probably put her down. The plane that is, not the Messerschmitt. I have a feeling that I needed to do something with the RPM of the propeller. scratch one Jerry, although that's not my doing, the flak got him. Yeah, what's my aircraft up to? The RPM's dropped heaps. I think I had the RPM set too high. It was set at 70%. Maybe it doesn't want to cruise at that power. I'll head to the nearest airfield, I think. Should be just up here. There's that burned out Messerschmitt still going. This game has some good points to it, that's for sure. Just I need to fly it more. Pretty far off in the distance, I'm not sure if I'll make it. Let's try and do an external view landing for the most part. I'm sure someone in the chat has a good idea of what I did wrong there. Well, that's actually a landing, believe it or not. I have a feeling I could have got some really good combat just then if it wasn't for that technical issue with the engine. Spitfire documentary. I don't know, I've seen about 100 Spitfire documentaries. My favourite Spitfire clip on YouTube is the one where there's a reporter standing there giving a spiel about the Spitfire, and then it does a low pass, and he kind of, yeah, I'm sure some of you know what the one I'm referring to. It's pretty good, it's pretty funny. He has a few choice expletives. Two-seater Spit at air shows, that sounds pretty good. Oh, look at that engine, it's not happy, is it? It's overheating in some way, shape or form. Close the oil radiator intake cooler. Good landing. Good. Don't know what that was. Yeah, I really don't know what that was. It was either the oil. Sorry, it was either like one of the radiators, either the oil or the water, or it was the propeller RPM was too high for sustained cruise. That could have been it. That really could have been it. But yeah, as soon as you get that kind of shaking going on, you know that something's wrong. Anyways, guys, that's going to be this particular stream. I'm also going to do an IL-2 Great Battles stream, and we've got a plane up there that looks like it's not an AI. It looks like a Spitfire, and I'd say that it's an actual player. Let's maybe observe him for a second. Looks like he's gonna come in for a landing. he's got his wheels down. What fun, huh? What fun. Nice. Well guys, I think this has mostly been a bit frustrating. As I say, it's an experiment, so... Oh no, he's tipped over. Oh no, I thought he was a pro. If the intake is open too much in a dive, it will wreck the radiator. I see. That could be a factor. That could be the factor. Man, that's going to be complicated to deal with. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. As I say, I'm going to end this stream here. Thanks very much, everyone that's participated in the chat and everyone that's watched. If you enjoyed this, got some value out of it, smash like and subscribe to the channel. And you can join the channel and you can support on Patreon. And check out my website. It's froggyfrog9000.com. There's lots of articles that I'm writing there about different aircraft that I like. I'm going to do an IL-2 Great Battles stream at some point, probably in the next hour. So perhaps keep an eye out for that when I go live with that one. I'll probably fly a P40 Kitty Hawk in IL-2 Great Battles. Yeah. Alright guys, thanks very much for joining me on this adventure, and I'll hopefully catch you a bit later on. Bye for now.